you. Thank you for inviting me for an informative session. Thank you for organizing. Tonight, accountants, they're the best. They text, when they talk numbers, I usually fall asleep, but today was okay. I have a meeting with my accountant tomorrow and she's calling me. I'm ignoring her. She called me just before. So they make our life easy. We pay taxes, but we pay for reasons. Trust me, it's worth it. I know it's quite complicated for a lot of new. I came here 19 years ago. I did one wrong tax return, and that was a lesson. And since then, now just pay someone to do it. All right, my session would be as complicated as that was, and hopefully won't be boring. Been requested by Brother Ahmed, and thanks for Glimmer of Hope to invite me today. We're focusing today about rental properties mostly, but look, if you guys have any question related to sales as well, I'm most welcome. Please do ask and do thing. But property market is a talk. Everyone talking at the moment. Has gone crazy in the last 3 years. The growth that we have is just phenomenal. Haven't seen any growth like this before. Started in 2007. We had one growth in 2008 and 9, and then we have a big plummet because of recession. But this time it's completely 45-50% property values has gone up, and that put a lot of pressure on people who are looking for rental. Not only the pressure coming from the cost, but cost of living that people are struggling with day to day, but it's also the rent outside. But because the mortgage is going up, the landlords are paying high interest rate, their payments have gone up, so they have to ask for more rent from the tenants, and that is where the issues come. But we will focus on majority of those market and how to, especially for the new migrants and people who comes to Adelaide, how to search and what are the most important things in searching for rental property. So today's topic, we got quite a few topics there to cover. I'll be very quick and there. So first of all, we need to know that what do we know about Adelaide? Adelaide is one of the very well-planned city if you look at compared to Melbourne and Sydney. I used to call this a 20-30 minutes drive city. From center, you can go either way in 20-30 minutes. One South Road, and it's just dividing the whole suburbs there. So very well planned, but then we go further north, east, west, south, and then that is where your geographic of your rental market changes. Literally, I have a property here, 2-bedroom apartments, rent is $950 a week. And unfortunately, 2 years ago, the rent for that property was $475. Wow. And someone is willing to pay $950 because nothing's available. So it's about demand and supply as well. So we focus on what do we know. A lot of people comes to Adelaide and they say we want to live close to the city. Yes, that's fine. But bear in mind that as you get close to the city, the rent is high. As you move away from the city, the rent is that's right. It's a bit more affordable. But we will discuss on all those areas where we can see affordable rent in this market. So why are you moving to Adelaide? That's a very important question. Are you coming here as a student? Are you coming here to look for a job, PR, migrants with the families? At the moment, a lot of students coming across, they can live in any share kind of accommodation. It's very easy for them to come up. But when you're coming as a migrant with a family, you don't have a job, you don't have a rental history, and that is where the struggle comes. And there's so many families, literally, actually make me emotional when I talk to them, that they're living in Airbnb at the moment, spending all this saving on paying towards Airbnb, but because they have not planned, and that planning is very important for, I get a lot of phone calls originally from Pakistan, I get a lot of phone calls from people coming from Pakistan. They're excited, are we going to need a new country? And yeah, okay, fine. So my advice is always to them, the person who's going to be looking for a job, please, that person has to come here first, get established, find a rental property, get some, and then bring the family, and they get upset. That we're excited and you're giving us this news. It's better to give you news now than later on you struggle. So it's very important for you to understand how the rental market and how response comes. So we're going to discuss those aspects as well. How to search for rental property. There's a few websites on there. The most important big one is the realestate.com.au, domain rent.com as well, rental. And there's quite a few of them there as well. So you can always search for rental properties on those websites. There's a few on Gumtree. Sometimes private landlords advertise their properties, and also on Facebook as well. Just be careful on Facebook. There's a phone call the other day. Someone transferred $2,600 bond to a person like no request. Call me, what can I do? I said, what did you transfer it? We like the house. Did you meet the owner? No. Did you inspect the property? No. $2,600 gone. Traceable? Traceable. The account belongs to one of the banks here. Hard to trace. But what I'm saying, that place, there is a website called Salis. Google, guys can Google it. Just pay $2.50 and check the owner's details. If this person who is advertising this property privately is the owner, put the detailed property address. For $2.50 will be the best investment. And cross-check the ownership that this person is the owner of the property. If it's not, I mean, that is not.
Salis,
Salis, SAILIS.gov.au. If you just Google Salis, it will come up, and you don't need an account. You can log in as a guest and just search. And then when you put the land, on the top is the property search address. You can search through address, and then they will ask for your credit card details for $2. It used to be free. It used to be free, but because of a lot of these scammers are doing the research, and then they know who is the owner, so they just say, "Fine, let's put a $2.50 there." So
they have the credit card details they can track. That's something else.
That's correct. So $2.50 is a small amount, the best investment than paying $2,600. So just be careful on that side. It's a lot's happening at the moment, unfortunately. So these are the websites. The most important topic in this session would be topic number 4. How do we secure a rental property? And that's what we're going to discuss every day. Make an inquiry. So whatever rental property you see, make sure you make an inquiry on that property. A phone call would be nice. Make sure they talk to the property manager. Make sure you talk to the person who's advertising the property. If you're not, you send an email. Make sure you follow up the next day. Don't just send an email. We get these emails, 100 of them, and with no numbers, just an email address. We just ignore them. We delete them, because unfortunately, if there's nothing for us to contact you, don't expect a phone call then. So inquiry, make sure you put your details there. Make it real. Don't make it some of those tick boxes and that's it. Show your interest, that you're interested in, because the property managers are watching you there. We're looking at you. You look at every application mostly. And we discuss those things, what we need to. Please make an inquiry with full of your details. Set up a rental portfolio. Online, you can set your profile. So every person, 18 plus, husband and wife, don't just apply with your husband. Your wife, doesn't matter if she's working or not working. If she's a housewife, still must apply. You have a kid about 18 plus, must apply separate application. You put under your application all of them, and they apply separate application towards that property. And that's where the win of securing a property with those number of applications will give you high chances. And that's a lot of people make mistakes. They have, alhamdulillah, family of 5, 6 people, only one person application. That's a big no. So it's very important to understand. Attend your open inspection.
You advise to make more than one application.
Okay, so you have a man applicant, for example, yourself, and then your wife. Your wife would be another applicant as well.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. Don't worry about if she's working now, but because she's 18 plus.
So make another application.
So that's when we discuss that rental profile. That's where you create all those, add these separate profile and attach to one. When you apply it to any properties, automatically uploads on our system. So it must be. A lot of people make mistakes, and that's what we discussed that in a second there. attend your open inspection is very important. Don't just go, I'm sorry, people we see, they come in their PJs. Come on, show some respect. Dressed well, because that's what we want to see. A landlord, the property manager take notes of every person walking. Dirty clothes, dirty thing, how they're gonna give you land your property, that's very normal. So we put those reports, so submit your application, always submit your application as well, and finding it again, follow up and everything, and liaison in contracts. So we will discuss that one by one in a bit there. So, sorry, where's that one? The first one. So, as we say, make an inquiry, email inquiry if the property is important by phoning as well to the property manager or the person who is advertising the property as well. Make sure that you enter your details, create an online account with them, and obviously then SMS, and then once you create an account, you get an SMS as well. So majority of the rental companies in Adelaide, we use similar sort of software, Property Me, which once you register your details, you get an SMS for confirmation. So it's very important to make an inquiry, and then we have a details of you're already on the system. So we don't ask them again as well. Rental profile is important. It's free as well. So most of real estate agencies have rental profile system that allows you to create an account that set up your online profile, and it's easy for you. Then you don't need to add your details again and again when you're applying for those properties.
So sorry, if I apply for your agency, let's say this is going to be only. Sorry, if I set up the rental profile, I set it only to a company.
No, that setup profile is for any other company you can use as well.
Okay.
Because I said we use same system from online. So that when you apply for our property, it comes to us. But when you log in with that profile and then you choose that property, it will go to another agency as well.
Okay.
But don't just make sure that you change the application in terms of we have seen the other day description. I really like this property because of the neighborhood did, and that was completely applied for another property. He just copy paste that to our profile, and we're searching this. This is a new development property. There's no one on this side. I don't know. We straight away we thought it's fine. It's a copy paste. So please just take your time and make it real. Don't just copy paste because it just doesn't look good. And we don't, then our interest, we don't have that. We get 70, 80 applications every property. Imagine that much time property manager spends on something.
Yeah.
So, and we have by the way, this is important for you to understand, we have a point system. Now, 70, 80 application is impossible for a property manager to look off. A clear instruction, any points below 90, don't even bother.
Page 19, what we should, or what we have.
You don't leave anything unanswered. Make sure you answer everything. Your biggest point is your rental history. Your rental history, your job. Job is the most important. Two things. The owner will ask you from us, if you got a job, rental history, references. References could be your personal, your job, your property managers. These are the three most important things. People say we don't have rental history. That's okay. We can still work on it and get an employment letter from your owner, from your employer. We can still work on those things as well. Because we want to know you're a genuine person.
Can I ask a general question? I am from Turkey, by the way, and in Turkey, if you have your own business, your economical situation is better than an engineer who is an employee. Your economical situation is better than another workers. And in Turkey, rental businesses like you, they trust more than any employee if you have a own business. But what I realized that in Australia, it is definite opposite side. Am I true?
What do you mean by the opposite? Like,
So if I show my payslip, yes, it is good. But if I show my income, it is not good. Just I heard like this.
okay, the system is designed not for us. Keep that in mind. The system is designed for a standard Australian family. Now, the people that live in Australia, they have high expenses per week. We can live on $500 a week as well. Just let's say, but they don't live on $500. So the system says the system doesn't recognize you Are you Australian? Are you from other background? The system is just a standard system. And same things apply with the finance mortgage as well. So the income is what it is. So for example, you're earning, let's say $5,000 clear. You have your wife, you have 2 kids. You have one, and all of these 3 people are depending on you. Okay. A couple monthly expenses roughly comes to an expenses. That's without any rent. That's calculated between $1,300 and $1,500 just for a couple. A kid, you add another $400 to $500. So let's suppose if we do a number, you are without 15, about 2 kids, and if you got $2,500 just an expense, and you're looking for a property of $600 a week. How much left with you? $600 a week is $2,400, $2,500 your expenses. You only left with $100. The system will tell you your income is at risk. You can't just save $100, and the owner will say, "Well, he's not saving it."
In the application form, is there a section where it asks you how much savings do you have?
You can add in the comments there, but the saving again does not count.
Doesn't count.
No.
Well,
The saving does not count. It's not a passive income.
so how do I have to apply to 27 applications? These are the ones that I thought were sufficient for human use. Right? Some of them are really bad. But I ended up applying for literally 27. Took me a month and 10 days to seal a deal, finally. It was a full-time job to get a house.
Yeah.
Okay. So I can't even remember because I put so much effort into it, but I don't have the history. What is it that we can do to get the attention of the property manager to give us a fighting chance?
Look,
I just came to the country. A lot of people just come to the country. They're new. Let's call them skilled migrants. Refugees are a different case altogether.
Yes.
But we're talking about skilled migrants here.
Yep.
For people with a qualification. So either they are here to start looking for work, or some people I know are going to be coming here and they will have work, but they're going to be working remotely. But I guess their solution would be from their country, they need to get a paper saying, or a document letterhead from their company saying that these guys are employed by us and they will continue to work remotely.
Yeah.
Does that work?
Absolutely.
And
Employment.
does it need to be attested? Does it need to go to the embassy? Anything of this?
Well, any letter that justify that you be getting a passive income is more than enough for a landlord, because landlord would not look at you how much bank balance you have, because I can borrow money and put in my bank, and it's not my money. How? Bank, they're looking for your passive income. Passive income is that you're getting every month the income coming, and he's gonna get that much rent out of it. That's all they care about it. So that's why a job or a prospective job that you're going to get. I have another person the other day. He said, "I'm coming to Adelaide," and he was coming from Dubai, and his job is starting in 5 weeks up front. I said, "Do you have an employment letter? Show me." Yes. He sent me an employment letter, and it was a full employment letter with its contract showing that this is his income. And the employment letter says he's permanent for the next 18 months. Perfectly fine. 12 months, you only want 12 months rent. That's what the owner says, fine. I'll send it to them. You look at it, oh, well, okay. He's on $175,000. The job hasn't started. It's 5, 6 weeks away. But he's got that letter contract there. We just want some evidence to prove it. Another Pakistani family, again, the same thing. They were living in Airbnb for nearly 9 weeks. They came with $50,000. Imagine how much left with nothing almost. And again, struggling finding a job. He found a job, but it was 3 months away. Okay, that's fine. It's permanent role. 3 months, fine. I need a letter from you. An email was just an email. I said, not just an email. I want something that what's your income would be. And that was more than enough. Alhamdulillah, within a week and a half, we found him. As I said, the landlord only wants to know you have a job. You're going to get an income. References, a lot of people say we don't have a history of renting a property. That's okay. That's okay. We can still work with it. It's better for us to find a good people with no history than finding bad tenants with a bad history. So we can still work with it, but employment is some of those things that is as a must. Another very important thing is that, alhamdulillah, we have big families. And I have a family the other day with 5 kids, and they're looking 2-bedroom house. That's a big no. Big no. Big no. Minimum 4-bedroom. And again, depending on the age of the kids. Minimum 2 bathroom. Is a standard of living here.
Yeah.
A landlord doesn't matter. So I'll pay $750 a week. Landlord said no. It's insane to live in a 2-bedroom apartment. Sorry, unit, not apartment.
See, I've just gone through this process. I just moved into a new house yesterday. Over the last 2 months, I've applied for at least 30 different properties. And having a large Muslim family, the more the number, even though that's a 5-bedroom house that we're looking for, with 8 of us, no one was willing to look at us because there's too many people that they want in one place.
That's correct.
And then when it comes to, as you are asking, what can you put in the application process, there isn't enough comment section for you to add certain details that you may need to articulate to the real estate agents. It makes it very, very difficult to put down your personal circumstances. It's very, very hard.
The best thing is to email it personally and follow that up. I'll just send you an email. This is my application I'll put for this property. Could you please urgently look at my email and follow up? Please tag this as you're applying for a job. Just don't apply and forget. This is people, I don't understand. You're looking for to live, you want shelter for your family, and you apply for a job and then you forget about it.
Because it's different, because in our country, it's not the same. Because in where I come from, if I send that application and they don't reply to me, this means that this company is not working well. Why? Because the market is different. While here, as you said, you're receiving 70 applications for each property. So you have a huge amount of time to spend for each property. So you don't,
Yes.
I don't want to say you don't care about others, but you have from these 70 people, you have like 3 that you can see that they are fit. So why you need to look for the other 70?
If I get an application with a separate email that comes to me and said, this is our circumstances, do you think that will not attract my attention?
No, what I'm trying to say, I'm not saying you guys are.
No, I'm just saying, yes. No, what I'm trying to say, this is what I'm saying, if follow a phone call from someone, it will be sitting in the back. I said, no, I have a phone call from this person. Let me assess the application. The application may be not on the list that I have to consider, but now I have to look at it.
Exactly. Now I'm learning.
Where we come from, completely different.
It's different.
Yeah, I know. That's why it's good what we're like.
And
The insights.
a lot of things, that's what we're going to discuss in a bit further as well. You will see that discrimination, if you feel like you've been discriminated, trust me, there's a lot of laws.
Yeah, I know.
Okay? It will cover you. So this is something I want you to tell. If you think that someone have treated you unwell, please, you have a fair voice to raise your voice and say, like we had a few months ago, there was a lady, she said, she was treated unfairly. I had a phone call at 8:30 at night time called the property manager, and she said, Kazim, I'll talk to you tomorrow. And when she said, this is the lady, she came and she was alcoholic. And I'll just put there, she was undressful. And this was the comment I have to give to my landlord. And she think that she drive a Mercedes, or she coming in the Mercedes, a high profile person. But no, that's not the thing. What we see is that what we have to let the landlord, because the landlord is our clients. We give them return, that's our business. We make money out of it as well. So if you can't look after them, it's the end of business for us.
Are you more comfortable for us to interrupt and ask questions?
Absolutely, I will love it. No, absolutely, go for it. Keep going.
Talking about what else besides the job, besides the income, passive income, what else can we do? For example, I have people that ask me, Ahmed, what do you write? It's a guessing game. I think what you can write, because that's what I did. You can tell people that you're very hygienic, that you take care of the house, you're very clean, proper maintenance and all that stuff. Because some people are just, so you just want to highlight the fact that we're not like, we're actually going to take care of the property. So is that something I would benefit, for example?
Okay, look, saying one thing and proving is 2 different things. Okay, you can tell me a lot, Until you prove it, then I'll probably trust you.
Yeah.
That's something we get a lot of people on the phone, we're good people with this. And when we check their rental history, the property manager at the back said, no, they were unhygienic. Every time I did my property inspection, the property was filthy and it was just miserable. Now, what they say to us to get another property is two different things. So obviously, this is very, very important. As I said, when you go to the open inspection, please dress well, speak well. Don't put an accent that you don't. I just sometimes I don't know how to explain to you guys. We do see a lot. And don't come and yo. I'm sorry, this is something. It's just not there. Be natural who you are. We appreciate who you are. But there are certain things. This property manager that's their job, and they don't want to have a tenants that later on they have issues with them. They don't want to take those tenants on because it's so much headache, so much issues there. And yeah, so it's not good for us. So coming back to your point with applications, look, you have any question that you have on applications. I think I haven't uploaded application this slide, but I'll park it. Happy to email you. Don't leave anything blank. A lot of people just the system actually has got an algorithm that it's working on. So if it doesn't see anything there, that's like a minus point. So that's where the 90-point table comes down. So make sure you answer everything and don't answer it like something which is not true, because trust me, you will find out. You will find out. It doesn't take long for the property managers to. That's their job. We have a system in place. We also sometimes we do a credit check as well in the behind the scene. People say we're making that much and then that's much. We will find out. So please make sure that show yourself you're authentic, you're genuine, and you have a genuine interest there. And at the end of the day, look, it's a business for the landlords, but trust me, the landlords are humans as well. They have a heart. They will feel if there's anything urgency there. And that's what my job sometimes, I used to recommend a lot of people's to mine, but now because the market is so tough, a lot of landlords don't listen to us. But now and then I always will do my due diligence, property manager. I want this person to become a dad somewhere. Please do it for me. And then they work on it. And again, please, people expectation is that we call the agent and the property is there, literally there, and they will find out and give it to us. It doesn't work that way. Sometimes it takes us months and months to find something. And also, especially in this market, your expectation has to be realistic. We all want good property for a family, and there's nothing wrong with it. But because the market is so tough, you have to be realistic that what opportunity you get, please grab it. Because if you don't grab it, there's someone else going to grab it. And then you'll be, especially with the people with the families, kids, they struggle the most. So I'll answer your question there. Yeah? No? Okay. All right. So this is about rent profile there. Attend an open inspection. We almost just covered this and show you attend inspection to view the property. Inspection may be a public or private inspection, or virtual online as well, which barely happens now. We used to do a lot in COVID. By attending an inspection, you can ensure the property is as advertised. So that's an important thing as well. What you see in the photos, make sure the property looks like that. Sometimes misrepresentation, misthing will happen. Meets your requirements as well, and you feel comfortable that the home, this is for you and the neighbors. So always do your research on the area where you want to live. What's your priorities are? Schools, or your priorities are more Islamic, multicultural kind of thing, priorities. So do your research on it before you apply. Submit application as well. That's what we discussed that before. After attending the inspection, submit application to the property manager to register interest in renting the property. Please applicants above 18 must submit their separate. We already discussed that application along with the man applicant. So who was the man applicant with that separate? Again, the most important thing that in application rental references if you have one rental profile you already have created, which will have everything and employment references to prove your income. Central link statement will work as well. So if anyone's getting central link, those statements will help there as well. You also can get a bond as well if you're a low income earner from for 4 weeks bonds, depending on how much rent you have. Finding out if you got the rental property. Now, this is very, very important. People apply for rentals and then they forget about it. We discussed that. So if your application to rent a property is successful, you'll be notified by the property manager. At this point, you'll be normally confirm rent, bond, cost as well. Now, rental discrimination that we discussed, if you believe you have been discriminated against based on personal characteristics, you may be eligible to lodge implication with an Equal Opportunity Act. So that's an act there with the consumer and business.
The tenants.
So tenants have got the upper hand. And that's what you guys are saying.
Yes.
Oh, it's quite standard in my country as well. You'll see these things, but right now, actually, it was happening here as well. But because the supply was high, the demand.
Yeah,
was
exactly.
low.
But this is what I'm saying. At the end of the day, it's becoming difficult for us to rent, but the landlord or the agents, they are now in power to decide who gets.
Even Australia, they're not finding houses.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying it's because of the market.
It's for everyone.
Yeah.
It's not only
No,
us.
there's a reason for this as well. A lot of when this COVID hit, especially a lot of landlords came out of the market. So they have sold their properties to people who moved in to live there. Now those tenants are out of the rental. That's another that you're competing with. So the rental property we are managing 850 properties from south till north. And we have lost approximately 170 only in about 18 months to 2 years time. And all of them, they were sold. So that many property, and then when I was doing that many properties, but 70% were people they moved in. So where the tenants has gone, they have gone out there to look for property. So you have those competition. Also, you have interstate people coming across. That's the biggest. And the rent they're paying back there is completely different. Even what they're paying to buy property there is completely different. So they're trying to compare and they say, oh, wow, it's very affordable. It's actually not. For local rentals, for local people, it's quite high there. But for them, it's quite low. So you have those rush coming through as well. So a lot of rush that's coming across that.
Speaking of that, does it make a difference in the application for people that offer to pay $10 extra, $20 extra, a year in advance, 6 months in advance?
It does. We have one interestingly in Bedford Park, a property that my property manager put on the market. The owner previously rented out for $580, and he increased the rent to $850.
No.
It literally be next to the Flinders Hospital. And I'll look at my property manager, said, Priscilla, if you get $850, I'll buy you lunch.
$850.
She got $850
Yeah.
from someone who paid the whole rent in 12 months in advance. But there is a but as well if the Halima.
So I have to go.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Likewise. Thank you, so much. Halima probably have told you that now my client will be paying high taxes on that one. But again, that was the nearest closest one was $670. Someone offer, and this person offer $850. Well, no. So I'll come back to you again. But $10, $20 may not make a big difference if you offer $50 more. But again, can you afford to pay that much rent every week then? That's you have to
Only
make.
people that can afford it.
That's
Yeah.
why the prices are going higher and higher, because there are people who are willing to pay.
Well,
I think so many people there.
We'll edit that.
So many people they're looking at pay the 8 weeks in advance or 2 weeks in advance. So as advantage.
It is give you a bit of edge there because it give more piece of stability to the landlord saying, okay, well, they're getting, but again, the accountant may say, oh, no, it's not good for your tax. You're gonna that much. So what's happened is that we as a company, don't give the whole rent back to the landlord. We give them every month.
Oh,
Just to save them with the taxes, otherwise, but then this person who got this 850 and 12 months, he said, now I want everything in at once. Which is fun, we paid him, we have to keep, but because we have to keep some in our trust account to make sure that if anything happened in the property, we have money to fix it. Our landlord take all the rent, what we have left, nothing. So there's a lot of things
They're
there.
marked up $15,000 per annum already, so that stuff, tax. Are we gonna talk about rights,
Sorry,
the tenants?
Yeah,
Yeah,
the rights, that's, I haven't actually there, but we have discussed, there's another, I haven't brought those much slides there, but I was just going to quickly to the process of rental in there. So now, when you become a successful applicant, obviously you have to sign the lease agreement with the property manager. Make sure that you understand what's your legalities there. Everything is there in that contract. You have the full rights as the landlords have the full rights, and it's quite a detailed document. You can find that on Office of Business Consumer Affairs website. Just type the tenants and you'll see all these documents. There's quite a lot there. So legal wise, this could become a big session for us.
My most important question, if you don't mind me asking, I'm a tenant. Last year I got another price increase. Okay. The property manager, their excuse was, oh, you're only getting this much. We actually recommended $50 per week.
Okay.
And
Look, landlords have the right to revise their rent every 12 months, once 12 months.
unlimited?
There's no gray, there's nothing in black and white.
Even the first 2 years? So the first 2 years, he cannot increase, after that he can, or?
No. He can, after a year, once in a year, so 12 months later, he can say, I want to revise the rent. So when the rent revise comes, the property manager will do a comparative market analysis report for the rent property, and then that will show that property like yours has gone up by $50 to $70. So we will usually not put the highest amount. We will say, okay, well, let's look at the average. In your case was $50. Okay.
My case 40.
And that is
But I
quite,
accepted.
to be honest, that's quite minimal.
I accepted.
In
We
Hallett
don't
Cove,
speak.
a gentleman called me yesterday, said his landlord just increased it by $110. What's the justification? Next door neighbor actually, a 3-bedroom, his is 3-bedroom, that's 1 bathroom, it's 2 bathroom, that's gone up by $110. He thinks it's worth $110.
And both of them are as old as each other or as new as each other? Or
Similar age.
Very old.
Similar age. It's most works.
Excuse me, in my suburb, there is no availability,
Yes.
zero.
So no
What
available.
exactly are you comparing with?
What do you mean by comparing?
This is
Like,
why.
when they come with the price, the value, I mean,
Oh, there'll be always a property that has been would be comparable property with your property. Send me your address and I'll send you a big list of property that is comparable with yours. Okay, how the price and rents work, as I said, we do a comparative market analysis every 12 months. If it comes to that price average of 15 increase or 17 increase, we will submit our proposal to this is what it is. And then they decide, yep, well, let's go at $50.
what does the property management company take approximately out of the?
It varies from a good company will do 8.8 to 12.12 plus GST. An average one, there's another one called me, a landlord called me, I can get it for 5.5. I said, please go ahead. Oh, you don't want my business? I won't get out of my bed for 5.5. I'm sorry. It's not something because I know what service offer. As I said, it varies. But again, at the end of the day, I prefer to have a 10 good client with 8.8 to 10%, than have a 10 bad one with 5.5. I'm just saying it varies. It's completely, again, at the end of the day, is the market, what the market rent goes high because the market is, demand is high, supply is low, all those things adds up. So $50, $40 is quite, I think is quite good than not finding the rental let, because trust me, there's a lot of tenants calling. And it's very, very important when you guys get a rental before signing the property, make sure that you guys have cross-checked the property condition. It is very, very important because a lot of people just move in And then they sign everything. Once you sign that lease agreement, it means you're locked in. And when you're walking in, underneath the sink, everything is just,
I'll ask you something. My friend, he's in a house in the west. He's paying something like 700 something, okay? And before entering, before signing the contract, he went to the house, lots of items to be checked. He told him that there is this cord, it is not okay, you have to arrange it. This is one, the lights, the AC, the so many lists.
Yeah.
And they sent email. And after that, he signed the contract. And he's supposed to get this was arranged after he moved. Until now, after 6 months, that day he was telling me still. Lots of them they have arranged 1 or 2 or 3 items. Now he's unhappy.
contact tribunal, the best place to contact.
Okay,
Send that list of what has been asked to do.
yeah,
And if the property manager hasn't responded, the owner hasn't entertained what need to be done, the tribunal, one email, trust me, one email to tribunal will do magic.
How do we reach them?
Well, look, Office of Business of Consumer Affairs have tribunal section there. If you Google everything there, you'll see the link there. Give them a call. There's an email address there as well. So make sure that, and a very important thing that I would like to mention here, that anything you guys do with property, make sure they do in black and white. Everything by email.
he's doing everything. When they come to replace that one, they said, okay, you came on this date, but still you have so many things. That one, this list is still building. He's reporting everything he knows. I think he's going to make complaint.
Yes,
so.
and that's what I say. You have 14 days. So once you get the lease agreement, the stuff they mention, you take, yep, satisfied, not satisfied, good, bad, whatever. So the columns there. So you take, if not satisfied, not satisfied, you send that to them. And then they have to respond. If they don't respond, again, a couple of emails, then respond. Tribunal is the best place to go. One tribunal email will do the magic.
The issue that he don't want to now, after sitting for.
Unfortunately, yes, in the market,
Yes.
you just stay quiet sometime.
No, he keep quiet now, but I think he will do it once.
Yes, when the market,
This is the way.
you have an opportunity to find it there. So you have 14 days to review the report. So the report, what they give you, and sign and return to the property manager. If you have no issues, don't sign it, please. It's very, very important there. So it is recommended you take photos of the property. Every little dot, any scratch, any dent, please take photos. Have a file on them. Make sure they give you the number of keys. Take photos of the number of keys. Attach that to the email. Send it to them. This is what I found out. And at least you have them on record. If they don't respond, 12 months later, you're moving out. And then they do the inspection on it. And they said, this. No, this is what I sent you in the store of my lease. That's exactly as it is. You guys have not responded. So you have some evidence. So it's very important. A lot of people that just don't do it. Please make sure you do it. It's property here is it's a very serious business. If you're leasing, buying, whatever you do, make sure you have things in black and white to prove. Critical tips, very important things, have your property be successful being a rental. Your affordability is very important. So as I said before, you're making $5,000, you're looking for $3,500 rental, and you have 3-4 people in the family. So that is something, a question mark about affordability. So make sure that you understand your job is important, your rental history is important. If you don't have a rental history, letter of employment letter is very important as well.
Can I ask a quick question about the rental history? I rent a house nearly 1 year ago, and then I rent this house from Facebook Marketplace, but we made an agreement. Is it a good rental history? Is it mandatory to, I have to make a rental history with the real estate or something?
You have an agreement in
Yeah.
writing, that's more than enough.
Yeah, I have.
Something in writing, that's all we need.
Yeah.
Okay, I know if it's, but don't do those kind of agreements again, please. Do it properly. Pay the bond to the tribunal and do the tribunal suits, because a lot of people have this private kind of agreements. Any disputes comes, then you'll be in trouble.
I think agreement is from flatmates.com, the formal.
Has he, so the person who has, your landlord, you have the lease agreement with, did they submit that to the Office of Business Consumer Affairs?
What kind
Did
of-
you have any emails corresponding coming
Too
from?
much.
No, we understood. He's saying if your landlord already communicated with.
Did you pay bond?
Yes,
Okay, that bond has been submitted to the tribunal?
How did you pay the bond?
I sent
The
to
bond.
her
Bank,
Bank
bank
account.
account?
And now, sorry, are you still living in that property? And that bond, ask her for the bond number. Just ask her, say, can I please, no, if they don't give you the bond number, call the tribunal. Google their number on some tribunal on the website. Call the tribunal, say, look, this is the address I'm living in. That's my name. I would like to know if my landlords have submitted the bond with you guys. There's a bond number there. They will give you the bond number. It's illegal for them not to submit.
Is there any cost incurred for the landlord to submit the
No.
bond?
It's for the safety. for-
It's a safety. It's
If-
important.
If he calls them.
Yeah.
And they say, no, there is nothing, will they take any legal action? Is there any risk on the landlord?
That's
So
the,
if he doesn't wanna put the landlord in trouble, then he should talk to the landlord first.
well, again, comes to you, your agreement with your landlord. If you want to double check, I just wants to know my bond, that's all. If they said there's nothing, that's okay, thank you.
To give them a chance to fix it.
Just thank you, and then talk to your landlord, say, look, have you submitted my bond, because it is against the law. Every landlord must submit their bond within 14 days of the lease agreement
Then
signed,
definitely shouldn't.
okay?
Yeah.
So.
To be honest,
Also, can I say to you here, are you paying cash? Are you paying what sort of rental payments you make?
every time I send her bank account and I am writing the description from this day to this.
Perfect. Now, that is very important. A lot of people with this private account are set up with the landlords because there's no other legal document there. If you do with our property management, we have the rent ledger there for us to, so you apply for another property and we have the rent, they call us, yep, he's been paying his rent on time, there's no errors there. So that's perfect. In your case, make sure that you have those transactions. It's very important. You move out of this rental tomorrow, you apply for another one, you said, this is my rental that I've been paying, I've never been behind. And this is very, very good, looking good on your application as well. So,
Every time I'm writing from, for example, 24th of May to each 2 weeks I pay and to, let's say, 15th of June.
now, do you have any utility bills under your name?
Not now, next month I will take all bills under my name. Because she didn't clear till this month, I will extend the 1 year more to rent or not. Now everything is okay, we are going to extend 1 year more, and then she preferred to give the bills under my name.
You married?
Yes,
You have your wife? Make sure you put her name as well on the bill. So both of you.
His wife is not here.
She's not here.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's fine, but it's important because when she's applying as a different, as just when you remember when I said as an applicant and then she apply her as well, so she can attach the same utility bills as well. So she both are, in Australia, husband and wife both share responsible for everything, even if husband not working.
Yeah, but for example, I mentioned my wife's name, the rent with the house rent, with the contract. That's all, not for the
Utility bill.
utility and these things.
Should add, it's good practice.
Good practice.
Yes, good practice. Come on, Australia.
We are paying everything, but
I understand that.
Yeah.
Here is a good practice. You're applying for another rental, she's then on application. What sort of documents you're gonna submit her? What's her name is? Her name would be not, so it's better to have on utility bills. It's a good practice. I know, again, not.
no, I mean, in the rent contract, I put her name. Because I know I want
Yes.
to have their name there. But utility bill, telephone.
Yes, that's okay. Nothing is, I personally, I think it's a good practice.
Okay,
Again, it's your choice. You want to do it, you don't want to do it. but I think it's a good practice. It won't hurt. It won't hurt. It's a good, as I said, if she applies for rental tomorrow with you again, what sort of documents, evidence you be using? Just her rental that you want? No, but other evidence will make the application better, that she was there. I know I find the wife doesn't work, but it's just a good practice for us. Again, it could be subjective as well. We can talk about it, but so let's discuss quickly now. Every person 18 plus must submit an application. We discuss personal presentations are very, very important. Turn up on time. Don't be late to the open inspection. Don't last minute. Personal references, work references, rental, that's complete application we discussed. Make sure the information is 100% correct. That we will cross check. If we feel like the application is something not right there, we will cross check. Attach all suitable supported document, that's including all the bills as well, utility bills if possible. Please be polite to the property manager. This is something very important. Sometimes the property managers have a long day, we are all tired, they do building inspection. Just be nice, because they will note those things as well. And just wait for your time when she's free to talk. So it is very, very important. Now this is very important for people that watching this, is that affordability, how the affordability works within the most expensive suburb. You can see the Malvern is $830 per week rent. Now this is the Adelaide most expensive suburb, Glenelg, $822. Now this is an average, could be $1,100, $1,200. So just keep in mind that's not exact, but give you an idea where the most expensive suburbs are, and they are mostly close to the city. If you look at these suburbs here, the most affordable one, Salisbury, $345, $346, Salisbury East, Kilburn, $355. So that's surprising, actually, the numbers. Elizabeth, $371, $377, and keep going. So these are all.
How many bedrooms?
There are an average of three bedrooms.
3 bedrooms.
3 bedrooms.
345.
Yeah, that's Salisbury there.
Oh.
Yeah, so Salisbury quite far as well.
Yeah.
Now this is the last few years how the rent has gone up. If you can see the graph, weekly rent. So where we were at around that 2019, and where we are at 2023. Look at the graph. It's going quite high. And all houses, 3 bedrooms. That's the blue one. A purple is all units, 2 bedrooms, and combined. Every graph is going up, so gone quite high, and it's still rising because the rental market is more competitive, even if compared to sales. So bit of there. There's some multicultural. A lot of people ask me where a lot of Muslim people lives or these things. So this is an important. SBS have. I'm not sure. Do you have an internet on here? Yes. Okay. If I click on this, on the website. Okay. Now, if you look into the suburbs somewhere here, somewhere. Oh God, where did that go? There you go. If you let's suppose what suburb would like to? Huh? Well, no, don't.
Clinton, let's try.
Marion. Let's see. Have a look. What's the sort of nationality lives there? English. England, India, China, Nepal, Philippines. Let's give you a little.
Lord Clinton.
And don't take it in accurate, okay? And don't use that for marriage, because there's another guy called me the other day. You put the link they cannot use for marriage. I said, what you do? So that give you which other website? Not Clinton would be probably similar sort of number, I would say. Let's have a look. What are you expecting? That's differently there. Not Clinton. Let's have a look. There you go, 5.4.
Because they keep thinking that I'm Indian, and they keep stopping me and talking with me.
If you look at sorry, West Croydon. Hang on, Control A, West Croydon. Let's have a look. Italy, Vietnam, England, Greece, India. So that's a little bit idea about how does work. So Okay, so that was just a bit of play with giving you a bit of ideas where the multicultural aspect of the suburbs and housing and property, anything that is related to properties of rental and things, you can go on the sa.gov.au. You have all the details of houses related legalities there. Tribunal, the website is there for tribunal as well. And rent rights, whatever rights you have as a vendor. So these are all those useful website that you guys can use if you ever need it.
So I am on a student visa, and I am planning to bring my family next year. I'm planning to bring my family next year. It's middle of the year,
Inshallah.
inshallah, and I will be inshallah on a graduation visa, and I will have like a full-time job, hopefully, inshallah. So now I'm trying to do like what my big brother here did, which is he found a place that was easy for him to rent because the landlord was unsure if she wants to still live in her house or she was traveling. That's why it was not still registered everything under his name, and he's not paying electricity. So what I'm trying to do is do the same thing where I already find a house, and from now until my family comes, I can sub-rent the rooms.
Ah, good question.
Yeah, because I have, these are two questions. Is it legal here to sub-rent rooms?
Of course it is.
It is, okay.
You can do it, but do it properly. To the proper legal agreement. So all the website I just showed you here, I'm sorry, I could go back. Sorry, out of it. Okay, where's the website? There you go. So if you go to this website, brother, the housing essay, you'll see every legal form that you want to use for subletting, sharing accommodation, as a landlord, as a tenant, everything available there. Okay. You can download that form, print it, fill it out, sign it. Make sure that you do it properly, please. This is a very important form because a lot of people there, oh yeah, a shake hand friend. I've seen people go in trouble.
Yeah.
What kind of trouble?
So many troubles.
I don't know. Let's assume
Well, brother, the list is very long. If I start with trouble, the most important thing is that in this country, everything, if you do it correctly, you'll sleep like a baby at night time.
So I am lucky I am with Mohammed.
Yeah, so let's assume that I break my room. I don't have a contract with him.
Yeah, we don't.
Okay, and you own the property, analyzing everything, brother, that please do it everything correctly.
What can affect my application in the sense of my contract now will not be enough. I'm sure that it will not be enough for me to rent a 3-bedroom house because I'm working 24 hours a week. So I know that my income will not be enough for any agent to accept or any landlord to accept that, okay, I can let you, I can sign an agreement. But what is there any way, let's say a guarantee? I don't know if it works here. I bring someone that says, I guarantee this person. And if he doesn't pay,
then that person will be on the application.
Yes, he will be on the application.
Will be man applicant. He'll be responsible for any errors, and if you're not paying any rent, he's responsible for that.
Ah.
Yeah, okay, what if he says that my plan is, I will stay in 2 rooms, for example, and I will sublease 1 room, and that will give me extra.
Now, subleasing a room, the property, you don't own the property. And now you're subleasing that to someone else.
Yeah.
You need permission from the landlord.
Okay, if I take the permission.
And that subletting would not come to you. It will go to him.
Ah, okay. Okay.
You're not the landlord.
Ah, yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say, do everything correctly.
Ah, okay.
I'm trying to clarify here things, please do it correctly.
Yeah, no.
So if, for example, he's the landlord, you're renting property, you got 2 bedrooms, you're renting 1 to him, he doesn't know. You're not doing the right.
Ah, okay.
Is that clear?
Yeah.
So in other words, no tenant is allowed to rent out any other rooms in the house.
Not legally.
Not yeah.
Do it correctly.
Okay.
It's possible the landlord say, yeah, that's fine, but you taking responsibility. You bringing someone else there. I have one actually right now in Onkaparinga Hills. I'll find out that the tenant that's on the leave, so there's boyfriend and girlfriend, because the property's coming on the market. And our question is whether there was another couple in that other rooms. Now they rent out that room to another person without letting us know. Now I have to put that to my, but obviously I have to go to my property manager. Property manager didn't know. Now, of course, I'm blaming her. That's her duty job to make sure that no. But the landlord, of course, I have to disclose that to landlord. Now the landlord's not happy. They're now saying, oh, obviously there's something we have to do to make them happy. But that's again, things like this could happen. Now, that person who's going to get out of that property, I'm not going to get a good rent referral.
Yeah.
So don't look at short-term business. Look at long-term.
Yeah, but
Please.
in my case, let's say I came to you and I explained to you my situation. I would like to rent a house right now that is 3 bedrooms, and I don't have anyone else with me.
Right.
And if the owner doesn't mind that I bring someone else and they pay them directly, or
Yes.
do you think I will have a chance?
Joint applicants.
Can we do that?
Then they have to assess all the 3 people that will be renting that
They have to
property.
wait for the
Ah.
person to go first, you cannot get the place first.
So you have to do, if you can't afford to pay for something, you're wasting your time, investing their.
And after that, I think he cannot kick him out. The other person decided, correct?
Sorry, second.
The other person, the joint applicant
Yes.
with him, he cannot tell him, now my family is coming, you have to go out. He said, no, I
He's
will stay."
legally
Yeah.
bound there with the lease contract with the landlord.
إذا هي رأيه
It's like husband and wife.
Yes.
That just consider that 2 applicants on there. Yeah, so
Other-
my details there, brother. If you have any questions, give me a call, email me.
I will-
And yes,
Thank you so much.
you're very welcome, brother.
Have a good night.
My pleasure. Thanks for inviting me, guys. And please,
useful information.
my pleasure. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Government applies for the time and effort and the valuable insights.
Oh, really?
Do you know what this is? This is a Palestinian hatta, or a Palestinian scarf, basically, which men
I was
wear.
born in Iraq, Kazimia in Baghdad.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I know these things.
So,
And we have anyone in Iraq? So, yeah, thank you, brother.
careful with
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, sister. Thank you.